Sir, unahin natin yung incoming Labor Day, Mayo 1 sa Thursday. Considering yung situation ng labor sector ngayon, ano sa tingin nyo ang dapat o magandang maging regalo ng gobyerno sa ating mga manggagawa?
Well, una gusto ko pong sabihin na yung efforts natin dito sa Senado na ipasa na ho natin itong Senate Bill number 2354 or yung 100 pesos na Daily Minimum Wage Increase Act. Hinihintay po natin yung pagpasa ng Kamara at inaasahan din po natin at inaapila sa ating mga counterparts dun sa Kamara de Representantes na ipasa din po ito nang sa ganon maibsan yung kalunos-lunos na situation ng ating mga manggagawa na talaga namang napakahirap ng sitwasyon nila. Patuloy tumataas yung bilihin, mas mabilis yung taas ng bilihin kaysa sa pagtaas ng kanilang sweldo. Bagamat we appreciate and welcome yung mga ginagawa ng ating mga regional wage boards, patuloy yung wage increase ng iba't ibang rehiyon sa ating bansa. Ngunit sabi nga nung isang pelikula sa Pilipinas, di ba, tinimbang ka ngunit kulang. Parang kulang na kulang pa rin talaga. So what's 100 pesos daily wage increase? Maraming mga pag-aaral na sinasabi na talagang masyadong mababa yung ating sweldo. Ngunit, of course, you have to do the balancing act, no? Na hindi mo po pwedeng itaboy yung negosyo, mga investment sa Pilipinas, nang sa ganoon ay may patuloy na trabaho at ma-enjoy na patuloy yung paggawa at paglikha ng trabaho natin. But it's still very low, no, compared dun sa iba't ibang bansa. Meron din tayong bill, yung SBN 2140, at pending ito sa ating committee, sa plenaryo, at nais natin talagang pagtuunan ng pansin when it comes to yung bubang tingin ng pamahalaan ng gobyerno sa polisiya niya para i-determine yung sweldo o salary ng ating mga manggagawang Pilipino. Dapat talaga based on living wage. Yung living wage, no, desente, may dignidad at talagang maipagmamalaki natin. So, yan po yung mga nagawa at patuloy ginagawa dito sa Senado. Yung pong trabaho para sa bayan law na ating inakda at tinisponsor dito sa Senado na ngayon ay ganap na batas na ilo-launch na po yung trabaho para sa bayan plan, master plan, this coming May 5. May 5 po ilo-launch na ho yung plan. I'm very excited about this and I think the labor sector would be very happy to welcome this development na kung saan yung iba't ibang rehiyon nagkaroon po sila ng mga pagpupulong at tinignang mabuti ano ba yung mga emerging industries na nagpa-pop out dyan sa mga rehiyon na yan. Ano yung mga trabaho na naghihintay? Yung mga trabaho na ba yun, swak ba yung skills and competencies ng mga kababayan natin sa lugar na yun? Ano ngayon yung mga efforts na po pwedeng gawin? No? So, yan po, ilo-launch po yan. This May 5, we will be there. Ilulunsad po yung trabaho para sa bayan plan. Ito po yung magsisynergize ng lahat ng efforts ng ating pamahalaan when it comes to not just creation of jobs, but also to look at our human resources capabilities ng ating mga workers na ito ba kailangan ng upskilling, ito ba kailangan ng retooling, the emergence of artificial intelligence nandito na, hindi po pwedeng nakatingin na lang tayo, otherwise kakainin ng AI yung mga trabaho na available sa ating bansa. So we really have to be ready at yan po yung ating pinagtutuunan din ng pansin.
Sir, balikan ko lang yung legislated wage hike. Pasado na dito sa Senate, sa House hindi pa.
Yes.
May chance pa ba na umasa yung labor sector na maipapasa ito bago matapos ang 19 Congress?
May kasabihan nga, if there is a will, there is a way, no? And I think dito naman sa Senado, pinag-aralang mabuti na hear ilang beses sa committee, na pag-discussion dito sa plenaryo at handa naman ang ating pamahalaan at nakita naman nila na may sense at merong pinaguhugutan ang Senado para ipasa itong SBN 2354. So I believe yung Kamara, from the very first time na narinig kong nag-react yung mga members of the House, sinasabi nila pa nga, kulang pa nga daw yung 100, which is a welcome development, no? Kung tingin nila kulang pa, why not? But yung nakikita natin kasi, we have to balance yung kakayahan ng ating mga negosyante.
Sir, sa pag-aaral ng inyong committee, magkano ba yung may tuturing nating living wage?
Yung living wage kasi, syempre, depende sa kung nasaan ka. No? Kaya nga, ako rin, naniniwala ako na hindi dapat galawin o buwagin. May mga calls kasi na gusto nila buwagin na lang yung mga regional wage boards. Mahirap kasing sabihin, ikukumpara mo yung sweldo ng nasa isang malayong lugar na walang masyadong economic activities, walang masyadong binibigay na tax breaks siguro ang pamahalaan, kaya hindi makapasok yung mga malalaking negosyo doon. Hindi po pwede talagang magpantay sa ibang lugar, no. Ang sa akin ang living wage ay yung disente, di ba? May mga pag-aaral, for example, yung Ibon Foundation, we're saying dapat ang 1,200 plus, no. For me, medyo mabigat yun, no? Medyo mabigat, especially pag sinabi mo yun sa mga negosyante, talagang outright yung rejection na maririnig mo at mapifeel mo from their end, no? So, kailangan talaga lang hanapin natin yung equilibrium, yung gitna na kung saan mabubuhay, magta-thrive yung ating negosyo, but at the same time, mabubuhay din ng disente naman yung ating mga manggagawang Pilipino.
Aside dun sa monetary or wage increase, may iba ba na mga karagdagang benepisyo na magandang i-anunsyo na Malacanang sa Labor Day, sir?
Well, para sa akin, importante talaga yung partnership, no? Kung merong bukas na communication, partnership na alam ng labor sector na nandyan ang gobyerno, hindi para mag-regulate lang or ipatupad lang yung mga batas natin at hindi tinitignan yung mga iba't ibang sitwasyon, nasaan na tayo, ano ba yung nangyayari. We really have to be sensitive about for example, the trade wars that is happening right now. No? Hindi biro ito, but in every crisis, there's always an opportunity. How are we seizing this opportunity na kung lilipat sila ng bansa, bakit hindi dito sa Pilipinas? Mas mababa yung taripa na ipinapataw sa atin going to America. But at the same time, if you look at what's happening in other countries, di ba? I heard, and you can check it, ang China already signed a trade agreement with ASEAN countries except the Philippines. Ang Japan and Korea have had trade agreements now with China. So where are we? Importante, alam natin yung direction natin and nakikita natin na merong ginagawa ang gobyerno at siyempre, at the end of the day, hindi natin pinapabayaan yung workforce natin.
Sir, regarding dun sa EO na inilabas ho ng executive tungkol sa digital nomad visa, kontento ba kayo na EO na lang o mas importanteng may batas ukol dito?
Well, una gusto kong pasalamatan ang ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos for really taking this initiative para ilabas itong executive order kasi parang mga 70 countries na yung nag-i-implement nitong digital nomad visa at malaki ang naitutulong nito sa iba't ibang bansa. And why not the Philippines? Na, di ba? Let's show these foreigners that they can actually work from paradise, showcasing the beauty of our beloved country. It's a welcome development, Sally, but I feel na it's more appropriate and more permanent at mas magiging solido yung ating polisiya kung magkakaroon tayo ng sariling batas dito, no, gaya ng iba't ibang bansa. Tayo po ay nag-file ng Senate Bill number 2991 o ito pong Digital Nomad Visa Act. Alam niyo yung what made me do this was the time when we went to Siargao for the first time. Napunta akong Siargao and ang dami po doon ng mga foreigners. Nagulat ako, talagang parang nasa Europa ka na, wala ka sa Pilipinas. And a lot of them are going back home because wala na sila, hindi sila makapagtrabaho dito. Can you imagine kung sabi nila kung makakapagtrabaho sila dito, they would have stayed longer or might stay at least a year or two. So sabi ko, sayang na, no? And then we look at it, and then nakita namin dun sa World Economic Forum, yung nomad list nila, yung Philippines rank as 7th fastest growing remote work hub in 2023. Yun po yung report nila. Tapos yung Department of Tourism just reported for this 2024, nakaraang 2024, 9.15% increase in foreign visitors. That's a total of 5.95, almost 6 million foreign tourists. Ito po ay all-time high, no? All-time high tourism revenue na nakuha natin, approximately about 760.5 billion pesos. So with this in mind, parang no-brainer na gawin natin ito. And dun sa bill natin, ang difference lang dun sa executive order ng ating Pangulong Bongbong is that ang mag-i-issue pa rin ang Bureau of Immigration. We feel na sila yung, but of course, ano tayo dyan, open tayo dyan for discussion, but we feel yung BI would have the, sila yung nag-i-issue ng mga working visas at student visas, etc. And at the same time, nakita natin na sila, may kakayahan sila, may mga personnel sila, they can also revoke yung digital nomad visa. With this visa, hindi kailangan magbayad ng buwis nung foreigner dahil ang nagpapasweldo sa kanya nandun sa original na or bansa na pinanggalingan niya. But on our end, may fee na binabayaran. In some countries, it ranges from $1,000 to $4,000 ang fee. Imagine. So, it's additional income for the government, but at the same time, I don't know if you'll be able to measure how much money they would be spending if they stay here for a year. Diba? Imagine the jobs that you will create, the economic activity, diba? So if our tourism is booming, it's a good sign na we should seize this opportunity. So hopefully, ang appeal natin sa palasyo ay i-prioritize na rin po ito. I think we still have time, no? Madali lang naman, napaka-simple nitong panukalang batas na ito na kung saan mabigyan ng digital nomad visa yung mga nais mag-work dito sa Pilipinas at ma-enjoy nila yung paraiso na ino-offer ng ating minamahal na bansa.
Under your proposed bill, sino ho yung mag-i-issue ng digital nomad visa?
Ang Bureau of Immigration po at dun sa Section 3 ng ating Senate Bill 2991, yung applicant must be 18 years of age, works remotely using digital technologies, tapos can show dapat yung proof na meron po siyang sufficient generated income doon sa bansang pinanggalingan niya, outside the Philippines. Kasi kung wala, parang baka mamaya dito pa magtrabaho yon, magkukompetensya sa mga Pilipinong naghahanap ng trabaho. No? Now, syempre, may valid na health insurance para kung sakaling may mangyari, may health insurance siya. At the same time, ma-check din kung siya ba'y may criminal record. Pag may criminal record, hindi natin papayagan yon, no? And he or she should not be a threat to the country. Tapos last but not the least, yun nga po, merong may fee na babayaran, yung entry fee, exit fee, yung processing ng visa, and at the same time para sa akin, and for discussion ito, no, and you asked me how much, bigyan natin ng premium yung ating bansa para may kitain naman, no. Hindi natin ito dapat biglain kailangan talagang mapag-aralan. That's why I wanted the experts also to give us their views on this, kasi pag masyadong mataas baka lumipat sa iba. Sa Thailand tinaas nila nung tinaas nila bumaba yung kanilang applicants, no. Doon naman sa Malaysia, $24,000 lang yung kinikita, pwede nang pumasok. sa kanila at mabigyan ng visa, pero ang binibigay nila para mga 3 months to 6 months lang. So ito, yung nitty-gritty part we wanted to discuss in the committee level, and we wanted to hear our experts regarding this particular issue, especially yung tinanong mo, Selly, na how much fee we should be charging. Kasi nga, again, it ranges from $1,000 to $4,000.
So sir, dahil nasa committee level pa lang, malamang sa 20th Congress na ito ma-approve.
I am hoping, hope springs eternal. So, kanina lang kahapon, kausap ko din si Senator Cheese, Senator Alan, Senator JV. Kanina si SP Cheese, kaninang umaga, nakausap ko din siya, and I told him about it. Sabi niya, okay yan, kasi may EO na, no, pag-usapan natin. So, I have yet to encounter anyone in the Senate na merong strong reservation, or not even a reservation. Senator Pia already says she wanted to be a co-author, Senator Grace po, and then yung seatmates, lahat sila overwhelmingly supporting this measure. So, hopefully, I think, again, if Malacanang would say we are prioritizing this measure as urgent, I don't see any reason why we should not be able to pass it in the yung pagbabalik po ng Kongreso.
Any related question or about politics na tayo? Okay. Pero bago yung impeachment, kasi sir, almost 2 weeks na lang midterm election na. Ano yung assessment ninyo sa tinatakbuhan nitong kampanya, yung sa mga result ng survey, considering na sa experience nyo, sir, di ba? Dati sa survey.
Parang ang tanda-tanda ko lang.
Pero di ba may isang insidente, nag-number 1 ka ba? Number 2? Na parang,
Nag-number yung 2016 elections.
So it means yung mga survey, hindi natin pwedeng panghawakan yun ang magiging result. Then,
well, yung survey is always a good
guide.
Guide index on your performance. We have been in politics for quite a long time. Yung dalawang takbo natin sa Senado, we garnered 18,400,000 nung first, 18,600,000, 800,000 yung second. So basically, yung 18 million votes, 18.5 average votes na nakuha natin is not easy to get. So talagang nakita ko yung importansya ng messaging. I think that's very important. When you look at the campaign right now and you want me to react, natatawa na lang ako minsan kasi, di ba, I mean, let's face it, marami talagang budol candidates na would make up stories and claim na, for example, sila nakaimbento ng buwan kaya merong buwan sa gabi, or yung hangin, sila yung dahilan kung bakit nakakalanghap tayo. No? So, I think ang hindi nare-realize ng ilang mga candidates yung katalinuhan ng voting public. I think hindi mo dapat i-underestimate na kung akala mo kiliti-kiliti or patawa-patawa ka lang or entertain mo lang yung kandidato. Hindi solid yun. Maaaring you can do it once or siguro, pero yung masustain yung ganung klase ng kampanya. And I'm talking about local or national campaign. So I think importante you have to be true to yourself, authentic, and yung taong bayan talagang looks for resibo. Yung resibo talaga.
Ano yung accomplishment?
Accomplishments, or kung hindi ka pa naging senador, for example, ano na yung nagawa mo, what you're bringing into the table, di ba? So I think that's very important.
Before Daniel and Mean, sir, may mga ini-endorso ka ba na senatorial candidates? And second question, crucial ba yung magiging resulta ng midterm election, particularly sa senatorial race, considering na magkakaroon nga ng impeachment trial against BP Sara?
Whether it's midterm or hindi elections, I always believe na crucial yung every election, no? Especially yung institusyon ng Senado, napakahalaga ng Senado. I think people and us, media, tayo, lahat na importanteng paalam sa taong bayan yung kahalagahan ng Senado, yung role na ginagampanan ng Senado. And historically, that's the institution is the last bastion of democracy. So, napakahalaga talaga niyan. Mas mahalaga ngayon dahil nga po may impeachment, hindi din biro yung impeachment court, hindi rin biro na yung trabaho mo na regular as legislator ngayon, member ka pa ng jury, hindi din po biro yun. I think it's a daunting task. So talagang yung iluluklok mo should know that and should be able to contribute sa isang matagumpay at magaling na Senado.
May ini-endorse ka ba, sir?
I wanted to say na yung grupo po namin sa Sibak Party List, yung kinabibilangan kung siguro hindi naman naikakaila na itago na lang natin yung pangalan ng tatay ko sa pangalang Brother Eddie, meron pong search committee na ongoing yung kanilang mga pagpupulong. I was invited several times na, parang 3 times na sa mga deliberations po nila. So I'd like to just leave it to them, no, dun sa search committee.
Sa senatorial, sir?
Yes, yung sa senatorial. I think dun sa mga local din, meron din po sila. Sa mga provincial and city, I think meron din po silang ganun na mekanismo.
Sir, ito muna, kailan itong meeting at ano na pag-meetingan niyo, sir?
Hindi, kagabi po, kahapon lang po yan, nag-lunch po kami. And
ano na pag-usapan, sir?
Wala, parang exchange of notes, how we're looking at the campaign, whatever's going on. May hearing si Senator Alan, he's inviting me on Wednesday kasi nag-participate ako nung last time. But I don't know, maybe I'll be able to catch up because I have like 3 activities in Bulacan, in PUP in Santa Maria, and several others in the province of Bulacan. So I don't know kung makahabol po ako. Morning naman yun to afternoon. So I think 1 p.m. po yung hearing ni Senator Alan. And then yeah, we discussed yung digital nomad visa. We also, wala naman kami na-discuss na impeachment except the robe yata. Parang we're just making fun of ourselves na magsusuot ng robe and all.
Politics, wala, sir.
Meron ba? I think mga tidbits of like what's going on in this particular district, this town, this city, who's running, who's leading, who do we think is gonna make it, etc. So gano'n, I think it's very natural for us. I mean, as a senator, syempre, di ba tatanungin mo, sinong malakas sa Senado, sinong mga may chance, sinong wala, sinong papasok sure na.
At sino nga? Sino lumabas
Including
sa
that.
usapan niyo? Sino nga? Anyway, Mayan, and then Danielle, and then Marlon. May about labor.
Okay na. Okay. Sir, a few questions from me. Sir, sorry, balikan ko yung
Labor.
minimum wage.
Minimum
Sir,
wage.
are you planning to seek audience with the President to make it a priority? Because you only have a few weeks pagbalik nyo, sir, kung gusto nyong maihabol sa 19th.
I wish I have that appeal, as you may say, na I'm more than willing to sit with him and discuss all this data, information, na we can actually pass this minimum wage increase, 100 pesos minimum wage increase.
Was it among the things that you discussed yesterday dun sa meeting with SP to make it a priority bill?
Wala na kaming pagdidiscussion sa Senate because tapos na sa Senado eh. So it has already passed on 3rd and final reading. In fact, I also saw Senator Jinggoy kahapon din in the area. As the labor chair noon, siya yung nag-defend nun eh.
Sir, impeachment, at isa okay. Impeachment, how are you preparing for it since malapit na yung June? Are you brushing up on the Constitution? Things like that?
Not just the Constitution, but yung mga Supreme Court decisions, mga presidents, andito sa kaliwat kanan ko yung mga staff ko. Walang ginawa yan kundi magbasa, mag-aral, and then once in a while we discuss and talk about procedures, rules, the possible tendencies. Baga sa basketball, nakita ko si Marlon, yung mga tendencies, pag pumunta rito, pag pumunta doon, if this motion would be motions that are relevant motions, motions na maaaring out of order or hindi po pwede. Discussions like that. For instance, I'll give you a good example to discuss. It's a long discussion. Sila Sen Sani ba? Sila Sen Nancy ba? Magsusuot ng robe at kasi pagbalik namin, i-start na rin yung impeachment court eh. Not the trial, but the court.
So, dapat kasama Senator Sani.
Exactly. The discussion kay Senator Sani. Sige, dun, maganda yun. Sige, si Senator Sani, di ba? Ang resignation niya is a senator, legislator, di ba? But doon ba sa resignation niya, part yung pagiging judge niya as a senator judge? It's a discussion.
So anong
Marami.
sagot?
Ang point ko, Mayan, is maraming angles. You can choose na pwede mong i-discuss, di ba? Wala pang president na ganito. So, these are all legitimate issues that you can discuss. Kasi Senator Sani, I can take that path. For example lang, just for the sake of discussion, na he is still a judge, a senator judge.
Part pa rin ng 19th Congress.
Because he's still part of the 19th
Is that part of
Congress.
what you will resolve sa June? Na
Well,
napag-usapan niyo yan?
Hindi ko alam if this is part of it, but there are thousands of possibilities eh. So, ang sinasabi ko nga, Mayan, part of how you're preparing for it is to look into these tendencies.
Sir, sorry. Yung diniscuss nyo kung dapat kasama si Sen Sani ay with your staff,
With my
not
staff
with the
lang.
SP.
Staff
Okay.
lang, staff.
Kala namin with SP.
Kasi ang question mo, di ba, yung how
Yes, sir. Apo.
I'm preparing. So,
Sir,
I can only speak for myself.
Ano yung legal point of view ng mga legis mo, sir?
Hati eh, marami. Iba-iba. Which is good. Pagka pare-pareho kami mag-isip or tayo lahat pare-pareho mag-isip. Yun ang kagandahan ng Senado, kaya maganda rin na iba-iba yung background nung ine-elect natin at expertise. So, that goes to show my expertise.
Sir, is the last two from me. Nag-hire na po kayo ng additional legal staff? Mga ganon?
May mga consultants, may mga kinonsult, not necessarily hire.
And then, sir, isa na lang. Yung usapan niyo kahapon, meeting niyo with SP and
We
the
just had
others.
lunch eh.
Lunch,
Just
okay.
had lunch, oh.
Napag-usapan yung leadership pag, syempre, kung siya pa rin pagpasok kasi may mga papasok na mga bago.
Wala naman. It's more of sinong papasok, sinong hindi, tingin namin. Kanya-kanya, di ba? And then, kanya-kanya rin na saan ka mas naniniwala? Sa SWS ba? Sa PALS? Sa Okta? Sa mga ganon, di ba? Kasi marami ding hakchaw na survey na lumalabas din, di ba? So, things like that. No, he found out kasi si SB would always know if we're here eh. Like right now, I'm sure that he knows that I'm with all of you. So, are you here? You wanna have lunch? May pagkain kami dito, may Chinese food. So,
Biglaan, sir.
yeah, biglaan lang.
Okay, Danielle, and then Marlon, and then Beck.
Sir, balikan ko lang yung sa select committee nyo. Sa JIL po ba yan, sir? Tsaka,
Yeah.
meron na bang mga matutunog na pangalan lang na i-endorse yung JIL or yung Christian groups?
Yeah.
The group that is part of the search committee are all JIL members from Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. I sat 3 times na yata. Third nung last, kasama ka nung gabi, no? Yun, ano lang ako, tinatanong lang ako, views ko, etc. Yun.
Sir, may mga pangalan lang.
Oo, may mga pangalan.
Matutunog lang, sir.
Sino yung mga...
Mga pangalan? Well, diniscuss na. Maraming kinonsider eh. Definitely more than 12 yung kinonsider. Diba? And I have to say, dun sa discussions, open na pwedeng 12, pwedeng hindi. I think they will announce yata in the next 2 or 3 days. Eh.
Maraming
I'm not sure kung buo na or may mga na-discuss.
So marami ba doon? Re-electionist o returning senator? You name some, sir.
Siguro kung if I would name, ang hirap kasi mag-name kasi will defeat the purpose ng search committee. Kung pwede, ako personal.
Ayun na lang sa inyo, sir.
Hindi walang kinalaman dun sa
JIL.
kung ano man yung magiging decision nila, di ba? And this is based also on the questions that was raised for me, di ba? Sinabi mo na yung re-electionist. Ako sabi ko, consider mo lahat ng re-electionists because they are sitting senators, di ba? And sa sitting senators na re-electionist, si Senator Pia Cayetano siguro yung most decorated senator re-electionist. Sa dami ng bills, sa dami ng legislation, sa dami ng diniscuss niya na in-exercise niya oversight functions ng Senate, etc.
So lahat ng re-electionist, sir?
To consider, no? And sabi ko nga, kung iisa-isahin natin, parang ako yun ang mga masasabi ko, di ba? Sino ba yung yun yung mga tanong sa akin, ano yung nagawa nito? Ano yung, sinong author ba nito? Sinong nag-discuss nito? And then, may mga advocacies ang simbahan, di ba? I'm sure you're all aware of it.
Sir?
That's why si Senator Manny Pacquiao, I have to say, he's very famous sa Christian community.
Marami bang nanliligaw na mga kandidato sa JIL?
I think lahat naman nanliligaw. Hindi na marami.
Sir, black voting ba?
We don't eh. We never encourage black voting. We only endorse. We feel na that's your personal yan eh, no? And your personal right. But it's important to guide your members eh. And yun din yung naging duty ko as a member of JIL to shed light dun sa mga questions nila who are really doing their jobs. May mga na-contribute na sinong kailangan ng Senado. Ito ba kailangan, tingin mo, etc. When our advocacy is on this path, siya ba going to this direction then or not? And then, I think tinatawagan din po nila yung mga candidates. I think.
Sir, pero
yun ang trabaho ko. Yun ang trabaho ko na sabihin sa kanila na iwasan naman natin yung walang i-contribute.
Sir, may estimate lang kung gaano po kadami yung current members ng JIL.
JIL.
And meron din kino-consider sa mga returning senators. Kaya
To answer muna yung returning senators, Tito Sen, you know very well, no? OG natin dito sa Senado yan. And then Senator Ping, wala siguro makaka-question yung contribution ni Senator Ping as a legislator. Kasi
So kasama sila,
napakahirap mag-move forward ng institusyon pagka wala ka ring mga parang basketball team, wala kang mga veteran, no? Mga
So kasama sila, sir,
alam
sa
mo sila.
kino-consider?
Hindi, yun yung sinasabi niya, election. Ako, again, this is my personal, yung binabanggit ko. I would wait for the endorsement of the leadership, and I don't want na pangunahan yung work ng search committee.
How about Bam and Kiko, personally?
Sa akin, when you talk about their contributions, above average, I would say, above average. Senator Kiko and Senator Bama worked with me in several instances. I've seen how they work. They're very hardworking. So, if that's what your
Padami. Nabubuo na.
sabi ko na kanina ko pa sinasabi hindi ako magbabanggit. Titigil na ako. Again, uulitin ko, this is my personal
Your
and
personal.
ayoko na muna magsalita.
Okay lang, sir. Paano pa at least malaman na ng public?
Sa search committee po namin, paki-intindi niyo po ang mga kaibigan ko dito sa Senate Media dahil yung personal po yung pinanong nila.
Sir, lang daw yung JIL member.
Masa 2 or 3, mga
Million.
gano'n. Yes.
Nationwide and then
Worldwide.
worldwide kasi mga...
We have 72 countries outside the Philippines na chapters, no? We don't consider chapters countries kasi for example in Canada you have 14, 16 chapters na in one country. So,
Sir, before Marlon, sa tingin nyo this coming election,
tinanong mo ako personal eh.
Personal.
Di ba?
Hin-
Ako yun.
Sir, sabi nga na kanina hindi siya magtatanong. Oo.
Ang dami. Ang dami. Ang hirap ng mga side comments.
Pero sir, tingin nyo this coming midterm election, malaking issue yung sino yung pro at anti-China?
Nawala ako. Yeah, I really think it's a big issue. Yung I think it's not just yung pro or anti-China, but are you pro-Philippines? No, I think it's very important. We have to really fight for what is ours. Kanina I was asked this morning about the Sandy Cay, di ba? So, sabi ko nga, yung China will do their thing, but tayo, we should do our part. Ano yung magagawa natin to fight for what is rightfully ours? Teritoryo natin dapat paglaban.
And
Importante pa, I think, really important. And I think even the search committee would agree with me na yung mga hindi ipaglalaban yung soberenya ng bansa, hindi susuporta.
At do you think, sir, may indication talaga na may attempt or efforts ang China para maka-impluwensya sa resulta ng incoming election?
Oh, that's what I asked for dun sa National Security Council to do a threat assessment kasi it's bothering. It's a concern, great concern, I would say, and not just let's not single out China. Maybe other countries are also trying to meddle with our upcoming elections. So, importante yung threat assessment and we'll coordinate with the NSC and find out how we could be of help in any way.
So, sir, would you advise the voters na kilatisin yung mga kandidato? Sino yung ipinaglalaban ng ating soberenya, ating territorial waters, at sino yung hindi?
Kung kinakailangan pong lumuhod ako at mag-appeal ng gusto sa ating mga voters na maging matalino, I will not ask them to decide how I am deciding also for myself, 'di ba? Basta yung sa tingin mo na makakatulong sa iyo sa bayan kasi yung right to suffrage is very sacred. Kung titingnan natin yung ating kasaysayan, maraming dugo ang tumigis, maraming buhay ang naisacrifice para ma-enjoy natin itong demokrasya, itong karapatan na magluklok ng mga leader ng ating pamahalaan, local and national leaders. So, I pray very hard na yung right candidates would emerge as winners after the May 12 elections.
And then from NIMPA, before Marlon, sabi ni Senator Amy, ginagamit lang daw ang West Philippine Sea issue para i-divert ang attention ng publiko mula sa backlash dahil sa pag-aresto kay Duterte. Sa tingin niyo nga, sir, may ganong diversionary tactic na?
Well, marami kasing issue and we don't know kung because of the election fever, lahat, I would say, lahat ng issue would be used. So, I would go with that sweeping generalization na lahat ng issue gagamitin talaga. And it's unfortunate na talagang magagamit lahat ng issue to whatever you want to dikit itong isang issue na ito. Dikit ko dito, dikit ko sa tao, pag negative, positive, dikit, kuha, credit, grab itong ganito, etc. It's a natural phenomenon during elections. Lahat ganun eh. Kulang na lang sabihin, di ba nga, pati yung mga malls, sila nagpatayo, o lagyan ng tarpaulin yung mall, sila nagpatayo, etc. Ganun talaga eh. Lahat gagamiting issue. And that is why, ang appeal lang natin sa electorate is be wise. And at the end of the day, your decision will dictate the future of your family, your loved ones, your children most especially.
Okay, Marlon.
Sir, balikan ko lang yung sa digital nomad. What's the difference between an EO and a legislated one?
That's a good one. Ang EO kasi is, alam mo, anytime po pwedeng i-revoke yan at pwedeng hindi i-implement na lang kung may pumalit na susunod na Pangulo. Another thing is that yung EO is very simple na hindi mo po pwedeng i-challenge na eh, di ba? Dahil ayun na yun eh. hindi mo na-discuss ng maigi with the representatives of the people. So I think mas mabigat yung dating ng isang batas, mas mapanghahawakan, mas tatagal, mas sustainable, and at the same time, mas klaro yung accountability for me. That's what I would say.
Sir, will there be yung safety nets against baka kasi magamit na naman yan ng mga POGO entities kasi ganun sila galing mag-isip baka mapaikutan yung ba?
Dun sa Section 3 nung final nating panukalang batas, that's why I wanted the Bureau of Immigration to be the ones issuing, kasi dun sa EO it's the Department of Foreign Affairs who would issue the nomad visa. Doon sa Bureau of Immigration, may may database na sila. Sila din magki-keep anong register. Meron din silang access sa mga Interpol, etc. Meron silang access itong Bureau of Immigration sa Department of Justice, sa NBI, etc. May mga police powers din sila. Pwede silang mag-conduct ng mga raids, etc. Diba? So, nakikita nila itong bagay na ito, sino yung mga may threat, sino yung may mga criminal records, etc. So, that's why I wanted BI. But again, I'm open for discussion.
But unfortunately, Senator, BI has been involved in so many corruption issues, yung pastillas, baka naman dun magamit ng ibang.
I am aware of that, but I still trust the Bureau, and I still believe with all of my heart na mas maraming good eggs than bad eggs.
And then yung one of the failed campaign promises of the former president is yung Endo Bill. Have we seen the end of bill? Ano nang mangyayari po, Senator?
For someone who authored, sponsored, defended the bill for 2 years, I would say it's a bit disheartening, but again, hope springs eternal. Nandyan pa rin yan. Meron pa akong 3 years na gusto ko pa rin na maging legacy ni Joel Villanueva dahil mag-retire na ako in 2028, not just in the Senate but in public service. So I pray na makita natin yung kahalagahan nitong security of tenure na mismong ang ating kaluluwa ng bayan, yung konstitusyon natin, sinasabi na napakahalaga at napaka-importante. So I continue to pray na maging ganap na batas at i-enjoy ng ating manggagawang Pilipino yung security of tenure to really end Endo.
Sen, ano na po bang status? Na-refile niyo po ba yun? Or,
yes, I did. It's exactly the same bill that we approved here in the Senate. Exact bill that we approved in the bicameral conference committee report ng House and Senate.
Ano pong status na nasa committee?
Where is it? Still in the committee. Still in the committee.
Sir, idagdag ko lang. Isa kayo dun sa tumutok sa hearing about POGO. What can you say on the action at Department of Justice? Kinasuhan ho ng non-bailable trafficking case si dating presidential spokesperson Harry Roque, si Cassandra Ong, and more than 40 others dahil nga dun sa involvement nila sa illegal activities doon sa Porac, Pampanga.
Well, I trust our institutions naman to do the right thing, and meron ding proseso para maprotektahan yung karapatan ng mga akusado, and so we trust our courts here in the Philippines na gawin ang tama at mabigyan hustisya ang ating mga kababayan, kasi malaking dagok sa atin itong POGO, no? At importante na talagang matukoy yung mga tunay na salarin para hindi na maulit ito, at magdalawang isip din yung mga nagbabalak gumawa ng kalokohan dito sa ating bansa. So again, all I can say is I trust the process. I trust our courts to make the right decision.
Sir, considering non-bailable yung kaso,
Yeah, it's
dapat
non-bailable.
ba na ipa-extradite si Roque na ngayon nasa Netherlands? That makapagpapahina ba yun sa kanya application for asylum?
I don't know about dun sa magpapahina ng application for asylum, but when you talk about extradition, it only comes into the picture pagka meron ng court decision. So, for me, wala pa nun, no? And again, as I mentioned earlier, ang mga akusado ay may karapatang ipagtanggol ang kanilang sarili at let the courts decide on it. And if the court decides on it, then for me, I will definitely support the decision of the court.
Pero itong nangyari nito, sir, bunga ito ng ginawa ring series of investigation ng Senate.
I would think so. I would think so. And I'd like to believe na hindi nasasayang yung mga efforts na ginagawa ng inyong Senado para pangalagaan ang kapakanan ng ating mga kababayan. Hindi lang ng mga manggagawang Pilipino, kundi ang bawat isa sa atin na perwisyo nitong Pogo, no? Hindi lang yung security. And until now, it's not over yet, no? Ang dami pa rin. Ayoko na sanang i-discuss kasi like for example, yung kidnapping medyo concerning na din, 'di ba? Tapos yung mga nangyayari na left and right na mga pagsasalakay ng authorities. Meron ka ding naririnig na complaints na
May mga violations?
may mga violations, meron namang iba na may nakakatakas or na-spare. No? So these are the things na dapat pagtuunan talaga ng pansin. Marami tayong issue o problema na dapat pagtuunan ng pansin more than politics sa totoo lang. And that's the main reason kaya ang pinakatalo pagka puro politika yung pinag-uusapan, taong bayan.
Okay, last two questions. Vec?
Sir, dun lang sa angle nung kay Senator Nancy, kay Sec Sonny, kailan siya dapat ma-resolve? Magkakaroon ba kayo ng meeting before you open sa June?
I think so. We'll have a meeting. Actually, yung before or pre-trial meetings meron. I think meron ding caucus para i-discuss yung ilang mga bagay, no? Sa pag-issue ng summons for instance, yung sa mga time frames, etc. So, yun ang mga i-discuss siguro na pre-trial para pagdating din sa plenaryo mas smoother, no? Meron mga iba, I believe, na mas madi-discuss extensively sa plenaryo than in a caucus.
And nakausap niyo na, sir, si Sir Sonny regarding this? May opinion ba siya?
Actually, kailan ba kami nagkita? Last week yata. I asked him, I told him about it. He goes, no, of course not. And then I told him, yeah, you resigned as a legislator, as a senator. Did you mention in your resignation, whether it's letter or verbal, na even the function of being a senator judge in case that an impeachment will be filed will be filed or mag-prosper sa House at madala sa Senate. Natahimik siya tapos parang sabi niya, that's a good discussion. Well, kami kasi I'm a student of history and I always wanted to make sure na nadi-discuss yung mga issues na ito para magandang mapag-aralan din ng mga estudyante, ng mga nag-aaral ng batas, nag-aaral ng law. So, para sa akin, learning process lahat itong nangyayari na ito. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm not even a re-electionist, pero aral tayo ng aral. So, talagang hindi biro itong tatahaking landas ng bawat senador in the coming days, no, after the elections.
Sir, last, pero mukha bang interested si Sec Sonny?
Hindi siya interested.
Ayaw.
Hindi siya, that's what I think, no? That's what I think. She never mentioned na interested siya, sorry. But I don't think he's interested. But interested siya dun sa discussion, no? It's always an interesting part ng aming buhay public servant na may nadidiscuss kang mga bago na maaaring magbigay sa iyo ng dagdag kaalaman.
Pero sir, wala ba sa impeachment rules na dapat kompleto yung 24 senators na tatay yung impeachment judge?
Wala walang nakalagay din wala ring nakalagay. And pag hindi rin nakalagay, hindi naman din ibig sabihin i-assume mo, di ba? So
Sir, may pahabol si Nympha. Would you call on Roque na umuwi at harapin na ang kanyang kaso dito sa bansa?
Nasaan si Nympha? Well, ako, yeah, at any point in time, no?
Si Nympha dire.
I know. No, dun sa question whether umuwi or hindi, ako, ang sa akin lang, lahat ng karapatan ng akusado nandyan, meron. So, for me, better pa rin na harapin itong kaso.
If he is innocent, dapat tanda niyang harapin, sir, yun.
Sa akin,
Considering
dapat
he's a
niyang harapin.
lawyer.
Dapat niyang harapin. May kaso na. And I'm sure haharapin po ni former Secretary Roque.
Okay, no more? Okay, pahabol, JB. Belated happy birthday.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Thank you. Ni sir, ano lang yung take lang dun sa 20 pesos na roll out nung presyo ng
rice.
bigas.
Hindi ba daw kawawa din ng mga magsasaka?
I haven't seen or gusto ko sana makita yung yung anong klaseng bigas yung sinasabi, no? Kasi napaka daming statements. I don't want to make any statement without seeing or ang sa akin talagang importante naman na ma-secure natin yung when you talk about food security, di ba? No one would go against that initiative. Now, whether yung side comments, etc., babalikan ko yung kaninang discussion natin. Dahil election fever, lahat may sasakay eh. Lahat ididikit kung kani-kanino man. Positive man or negative. And that's why, at the end of the day, the electorate should be more vigilant about this. But also, on our part as public servants, appeal ako na huwag natin politikahin lahat. Gawin natin yung ano yung dapat nating magawa at ma-deliver para sa ating mga kababayan. Yung 11.18 billion pesos na sinayang ng DOH, hindi dapat maulit ito. 2020, noong pandemic, 95 million. Ngayon, 11.18 billion yung na-expire at nasayang lang. So, ngayon, dinidiscuss na bibili na naman ng kung ano-anong pang-dengue, which we are all agree na tama naman na bumili. Pero ano ba yung plano? Kailan iro-roll out yun? Pag wala na bang dengue? And this is something that we should all be discussing. I think far more important than whether or not itong politika or sinong mananalo, sinong gumagawa ng kalokohan sa kampanya or fake advertisement. I think this is more important.
Okay, last question from Marlon.
Sir, since you filed that resolution pushing for investigation dun sa pag-aaksaya ng DOH ng pondo and then yung National Immunization Program, has the department made any representation or submit yung mga explanation nila regarding
Wala po,
issues?
unfortunately. Marlon, unfortunately, wala. We have been doing our best to ensure na maiintindihan namin where they're coming from, no? 3 resolution na, if I'm not mistaken, yung final po natin. Yung 1334, yung dun sa immunization. Kasi you look at 2015 to 2024, 60 billion pesos na po yan. Nananatili pa ring mataas yung vaccine hesitancy. So yung polio, yung diphtheria, yung tigdas, going in the upward figures, no? 61% lang of the total na mga bata sa ating bansa ang nabakunahan para sa taong 2024 alone. So ang number is 1,459,353. Yun yung kabuuan na nabakunahan. Pero ang dapat bakunahan supposed to be is 2,392,392 na mga bata. And then, yun nga, yung binanggit natin kanina, yung Resolution 1326, yung natuklasan nating sangkaterbang expired at nakatenga na healthcare products sa ilalim ng pamamahala ng Department of Health. Lumobo na po yan, no? 11.18 18.6 billion yung nag-expire. Lumobo ng 11,656% compared to 2020 na 95 million lang. Yung 95 million na nagtaasa na yung kilay natin. And with that 11.18 billion pesos na sinayang ng DOH, that's about 130,000 doktor para sa bayan scholars. 4-year course na mapag-aaral mong doktor. 130,000. It would have covered a hemodialysis session of at least 1.761 million beneficiaries getting 6,350 pesos per session. Yun ho yung nasayang. Masakit. Masakit ho masyado. I don't know kung anong ginagawa ng ating departamento tungkol dito.
Sir, pahabol ko lang, kanina na-mention ni Senator Amy Marcos na meron daw siya narinig na protest votes for this coming election dahil wala sa ating kultura na ginigipit ang isang matanda at mayroong sakit. Meron ka bang narinig na gano'n sa mga pinupuntahan mong lugar?
On my end, protest votes means hindi boboto? Boboto against. Well, natural yun. No? Kanya-kanya tayong biases, yung different sectors, organizations of the society. May mga natural tendencies na mag-vote sila as one against doon sa hindi kapareho ng kanilang pinaniniwalaan. And I think we should respect that.
Pero may narinig ka, sir, na gano'n.
Ang naririnig ko is iba't iba. Iba't iba, no? Iba yung naririnig ko sa Bulacan, iba yung nasa Iloilo ko, iba yung nasa Mindanao ka, iba yung nasa Hong Kong ka, iba yung nasa mga manggagawang sektor ka, iba yung nasa mga estudyante ka. Iba-iba eh. Iba-iba yung mga pinapanigan nila. And I think, ang importante, and I still commend si Senator Amy dun sa mga ginawa niyang committee hearings, di ba? Natututo tayong lahat eh. Ako, natuto ako dun sa mga hearings na pinatawag po niya, and I'm also interested how the Supreme Court will rule dun sa mga nakafile sa Supreme Court. Dagdag kaalaman sa atin lahat yun, and as a legislator, it's a welcome development.
Okay, on that note, dahil lunchtime na, thank you so much, Senator Joel Villanueva.
Maraming salamat po. Karangalang uling makasama kayong lahat. Salamat.